Metaverse.
Nate!
Shad, how are you?
Good, I'm very good. I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
If you were asked, what is the king of the weapons, what weapon would you pick?
I would say the king of the pre-firearm battlefield is this. I don't want to say it's the king of all weapons, but it's definitely the king of the battlefield.
That is the general understanding. Like when you're looking at medieval kind of era weapons, excluding firearms, there is a general understanding that the king of the weapons is the spear.
And for good reason.
I mean, it's a phenomenal weapon.
It absolutely is.
And, I mean, people have pitted a spear up against the sword.
Yep.
And the spear basically wins out.
Yes.
Yes.
There are caveats to those videos, but yes.
Let's talk about the caveats quickly then, because one of the main reasons why the spear wasn't used as a primary weapon for self-defense is pretty big.
It is. You can't really carry it around,
Yeah.
but it is one of the easiest weapons to learn. Pointing end, go in enemy. And also, you are at a very far away range, and this is a shorter spear. Like you can use this one-handed. I wouldn't want to.
But you could, yeah.
Spears and pikes got really, really long, twice the height of people.
Well, that's the interesting thing, because if you could say conveniently carry the spear around, it does have tremendous advantages over most types of swords.
It absolutely,
really.
it absolutely does.
Great swords are debatable.
But I would still, if in an open field, and especially with allies, if we were all armed with this, go this weapon over my normal sword and board.
Then we come into the battlefield aspects of it. In terms of a formation, spear is just crazy.
That's where it becomes king. A whole heap of these pointed at you. Whoo, don't run into the spiky wall.
For an adventurer even, where you might face more one-on-one combat, you're not really worried about convenience then. Spear usually wins out. And like I said, people have done, fights, spear versus sword. Spear usually wins. It's just that kind of convenience of carrying it around. But the interesting thing is, even if you were to use a spear, you could easily have a sword right there, just as a backup.
You can, and if you happen to find yourself in a tighter space, like in city streets or in a dungeon, just cut a bit off and you're still pretty good. So it works.
You also touched on something really important, ease of use.
Oh yeah.
It does not take a lot of training to be very dangerous with a spear.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and in actual fact, a lot of these like sword versus spear tests, Lindy Page did one, great video, right? They were experienced swordsmen, less experienced with the spear, but put a spear in their hands, their basic understanding of distance and tempo and stuff, they were more deadly with a spear than with the sword.
And especially in group combat from memory, though it has been a while since I've seen that video. So yes.
I wonder if that status as king of the weapons might be logically challenged. The spear is the king of the weapons, but I wonder if we also kind of granted that because of its wide usage.
And also that it's wide usage both in place and time, because it's been used for a long time, whereas a halberd, late medieval period, Renaissance.
Yeah, even high medieval period. But the thing is though, the halberd is actually a more advanced weapon than the spear. The spear is an ancient weapon.
Yes.
This thing, a bit more modern in comparison. And the question then rises, if you had the choice between the two, would you pick the spear?
Yes.
I don't know, Nate. I don't know.
I would. But I have fought blunt versions of these. I've fought blunt versions of both of these. And there is one thing that does scare me about that. One thing that really scares me about that, which we'll cover shortly. But for the most part, this kills me more often in blunt combat training. This kills me more often than that by 100-fold.
Really?
Yes.
Is that like, I don't know, is it training then maybe? Because the halberd is a more advanced weapon.
It is.
It does take more training to get really good at than the spear. But if we were to break it down, the halberd is a spear.
On top of other things.
Yes, it's essentially a spear plus. And
New spear plus.
yeah, it is, right? The contention I'm proposing here is, can you technically do everything that you can do with a spear with a halberd, but the halberd enables you to do more? There is a caveat that I think might come up in regards to this.
Well, how about, because this one is sharp and that one is heavy, how about we grab some LARP weapons and
we will do some testing. There's one big problem with testing with the LARP.
Yes, you are right. We should talk about that.
Because when it comes to analogs and everything, LARP weapons can be really good with swords and other things like that. The big weakness, what they don't simulate well, is weight.
Yes.
And this is the big difference. This is the question is like, okay.
And also stopping power.
Stopping power. Because if the contention that you can do everything you can do with a spear, but with a halberd, that might not actually come true due to the fact that the halberd is more top heavy. It is not so excessively top heavy that I cannot move around, but it is slower. Like that tip maneuverability is slower.
Yeah, compared to especially like if I was to sit there.
Like, look at that. Look how fast that is, right? So and the Halberd is meant to have weight because it's got that devastating accent. I can maneuver it around, right? But it is harder.
And so I've gone and grabbed gloves because I want to talk about the actual stopping power of having a wooden haft, especially with the weight. So what I'll get you to do is imagine you're trying to cut me in twain.
Yes.
At about the waist. He is a little too keen for that, guys.
Now, with Halberd combat, there does tend to be two kind of primary styles that people can adopt. One works pretty heavily on using the reach, and there's wide kind of movements and deflection, stabs, and it is crazy devastating. The other, it's actually almost using it like a double-ended weapon. Some halberds more common on pole axes,
butt
spike. Okay,
which is very good.
There's a spear end here, where
that is thrusting at your opponent. But in those maneuvers where you're swinging either a downwards or a sideways, you choose. And if you just chop at me, like the stopping power in that, compared to you watch when we go to LARP, Shad's going to bounce straight off and go in for a counter attack. You did feel that stop, like you've got to recontrol it.
With a real one, you're going to be slower.
Yes.
And so when we get to some of the general sparring, we already know it's not going to be hugely representative.
No.
It's more just get a general feel, but also have some fun with it as well. And to test reach and other things. And it could also simulate someone who's just way, way, way stronger than me and can maneuver, because there's people stronger can maneuver this fast.
Yeah, and I've seen, like, for example, Bjorn Ruther, who if I've pronounced your name correctly, I hope I have, who uses one greater height than that, I believe it's proper height, one-handed.
Swinging that thing around. Yeah. But we'll get to some just fun, general kind of sparring, and with how dangerous, like this is actually a blunt one.
It is.
But I would not want to spar.
Now, before we go to the sparring, just very quickly, one thing that I do want to describe how lethal this is if, let's say, for example, Shad is attacking my head, like going for a downward strike. If he's at this type of a range, I'm kind of okay because I can reach that. As soon as he pulls back, this becomes so deadly because I am trying to get into the blade to stop it.
You're actually touching on a really interesting utility that the halberd has that a spear doesn't, is hooking. Like if I try and hack and you block, the natural inclination is to always block underneath the haft.
Yes.
Because there's more room and everything, and it's going to be harder.
And I'm keeping out of the blade.
Yeah. But as soon as that happens, all I have to do is pull back and then stab.
You're in. Yes.
That is a vicious, deadly maneuver.
It is. But you can also get caught if you're hooked, whereas with a spear you can't.
Well, yeah, but
not can't. It's harder.
Yeah, it is harder, but I feel like the halberd gives you more utility. Now, I might say the spear is still king of the weapons.
King of the battlefield.
King of the battle, for its overall breadth of use throughout all of history. It's easy to make, affordable, easy to use, everything like that.
More lethal.
Yep.
Better in combat?
No, not necessarily. No, I don't know. Like, the halberd is great in groups.
Not as prestigious. I understand. No, it's good versus groups. It's not necessarily great in groups.
Are you sure? Because, like, there's formations of halberdiers that they can wreck.
They absolutely can. I would not want to face either, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think a formation of pikes would be much better than a formation of that.
Pike is a different weapon. We're talking about halberd.
Spears. Formation of spears.
All right, I guess we should include pikes, because pike is the
long boy spear.
Long boy spear. It is one of the ultimate battlefield spears. Okay, that changes up a bit because of the reach. Because if we were to take pike out of the equation, I would actually say the halberd is a superior weapon.
No.
And it deserves the title, perhaps, of king of just utility, functional weapons. And
the Beck would win that.
I don't know. The halberd has more reach than the Beck.
All right, I'm getting the LARPs. We're trying this.
Okay, because the pike is the thing that messes this equation up. Because I think a pike, you can't do as many things with it as a halberd, but that reach on a pike. Would you use a pike as an adventurer?
No.
Exactly. The pike is a terrible single combatant weapon.
But if I was a pikeman and I was going adventure, I'd just chop it off to the length of a spear.
But then there's back to the normal discussion, spear versus and halberd. And I actually think the halberd, and look, when I say halberd, I'm actually kind of including poleaxes as well, even longer Bector Corbins. But halberd is one of the more prestigious kind of, people.
Prestigious?
They got
this
fancy.
is better.
I don't know, Nate, because
I'm saying you add that to that, and you
single
get that.
combatant weapon. As an adventurer, halberd still just wrecks.
It does. It wrecks. I still got a spear.
let's fight a bit.
Okay. His head's chopped off already.
I don't know, see? All right, already noticed something really significant. When we got locked up, the only way you can defend me, you need to withdraw the spear together. Point on. I can spin around and hit you on the side with this axe head.
I know, but I can also spin around and hit you.
Oh.
Was that a groin shot? That's 2 dead idiots, that is.
See, all right. See, what I did then, that's not fair because I was redirecting too fast. You wouldn't be able to redirect that fast with a halberd.
That's fine, we're super strong today. Now, I call that caught. Honestly,
I don't know.
I'd call that
I
caught.
don't know.
I would. I caught it with my face.
Couple of things I'm noticing.
Sure.
Because the halberd has 2 offending sides,
Yes.
in those ranges, even if I'm like, just takes a bit quick rotation and that spike is getting somewhere or that
absolutely
axe head is getting somewhere.
So historically, these weren't necessarily used in formations like that. They were,
Yeah.
but they were more used in looser lines and big crowd control type scenarios.
Because the formations that I've seen is they can use them like a spear, but then there's the secondary line that can use axe chops from behind to back up the first line. And that, there's more utility that you have options there.
That is true. They were used in formation. I'm not saying they weren't, but you found them less in formations than I have seen. I could be wrong.
Well, that's because they're really good crowd control weapons, and if you want to do that swinging, you do need a bit of space.
Big space. But I still think that if you're swinging from most any angle, knocking that offline and then coming in with a nice quick spike, I'm still going to go spear.
Well, let's see. Let me try and do some wide.
Sure.
Kind of. Ready?
Yep. That's 2 dead idiots.
Are you using a hewing spear?
Yes.
But
yes, I am.
That's more an exception to the normal spear, Nate.
No, it's not. All spears had an edge. This
What
one
about
just
the little ones.
Then I hit you a little bit.
Because I've got a big blade.
That is true, and that is a big choppy boy. So in a big chop, you will have more weight, you will cleave through better. But most wounds, most things that stopped combat were stabs.
It's true, but I can stab too.
So I did step into that a little. I still feel like I've got control here.
What I'm finding actually is that these are pretty well matched up weapons in reality. I feel like I got a few more options in the bind. Pulling down, and it's easier to get a blade on point to do damage.
You do. The only thing that I would add to that is the fact that in reality, these 2 weapons now weigh the same. Whereas a spear can be many different lengths, usually has a much smaller head, and that would have a much longer haft, usually a smaller head as well.
Yeah.
Probably historically closer to that.
And this is a poleaxe head, okay? One that we will haft and have some fun with. This is actually significantly lighter than the halberd head, it feels like.
It is, but once you put it on a 10-foot pole or an 8-foot pole, all of a sudden, all of that swinging, it is very hard to stop the momentum.
Because there are different types of pole arms that are, halberd, poleaxes, Bector Corbins that vary in weight as well.
Yes.
Now, we are mainly focusing on spear versus halberd in this video because I think that's the question. Which is the true king of the weapons? Let us know in the comments. But it would be fun to see the halberd take on some other weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Like a sword.
Well, I like sword and shield, so I would more than happily take on a halberd with sword and shield.
Because we know which one should wreck, but actually shield. That's an interesting.
Sword and shield will win.
But reach, man. I don't know reach.
So
for exclusive content, all right, we're going to be doing some sparring with the halberd.
Wait, we are?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Halberd versus
It's a hot day.
sword and shield. And that's, again, exclusive for our incredible, wonderful supporters. Like, guys, I can't stress enough how grateful we are for your support because ad revenue, we said it was bad before, it's only been getting worse. And we're not the only channels facing this, but viewership support from you guys has been going up, and it's only thanks to you. And I mean only thanks to you that Shadowverse is able to keep going in its current basically makeup. Like, if it wasn't for the support, we'd have to, we'd have to, well, sorry, you'd have to be fired.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you.
So you're keeping us employed. Genuinely mean that. And so if you want to help continue, give us that security, which we need now more than ever, $1 to $5 a month. And that's on channel memberships or Patreon, Subscribestar or Player. And my gosh, I'm so grateful for that support because we get to make this awesome content for you. And then you get awesome bonus content on top of that. And there is some fun stuff already there.
There is. There's a lot of crazy things that we can't put on YouTube.
Check it out, become a supporter, get that exclusive content, and we appreciate you all. So I want to do a couple bit more.
Okay, but you're putting that down if you're going to swing Halberds at me.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I want to employ some other techniques. We'll see.
Well, how about, oh, you're just going to go?
Yeah.
Win! Win!
Grabbed it.
Oh, so I missed! I got caught on my own leg!
See, I wouldn't want to do this because it reduces my reach here.
Yes.
Even though it's a very viable technique.
Yes, it is. And normally Halberds do have a much longer haft.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you for being smug. It's hot today, Shad.
We're getting old, Nate. We're getting old.
Getting?
I'm already noticing a couple of things, right?
Yep.
I am encouraged to fight in more specific ways because of the reach that the spear has. I don't want to risk using the butt.
No,
and
that's
I
fair
even
enough.
feel having it kind of loaded for a strike, not good either because the spear is too quick to get it. And so I'm finding to really fight a spear, I'm wanting to use the reach of the halberd as well.
Whether this is the king of the battlefield or not is kind of a little bit offside to versing the weapons against each other.
That's why I say king of the weapons, not just battlefield, because because this I feel still I'm finding more utility, especially one-on-one, because this has I find I'm hooking a lot more. And it's easier to get a blade on point. As soon as I get back, just push it a little bit. Even if I don't get the spear points ready, I got the spike that I can either try and hook behind or stab with the blade.
Maybe a Segrin of the battlefield or a Baron of the battlefield. They're not
just weapon. King of medieval weapons.
a Baron of
Not including
Baron of medieval weapons.
Not including bows. Bows don't count. Because if we're honest here, ranged weapons are the real kings.
Yeah. You kind of need shields. Wait,
So-
does that mean shields of the queen?
King of melee weapons. I still want to try some more hooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
So,
about I let myself get hooked then,
No, I want you to resist.
and then resist from there? Or just...
Just resist.
All right, they're bouncy, so we'll try.
Because what I'm like, so I got this right here, and if I want to get in,
Oh, yeah. I can also stab you in the face.
so
It's a LARP weapon. You don't stab in the eye. Jeez.
see, hook and
That's true. That's true.
because it seems like I can get that in the binding.
Yep.
Look at that, right?
That is
I've got
absolutely hooked in.
Way more control.
I have no, just to explain, because it's hard to see from that angle, just hold that there.
Yep.
I have no real way of attacking Shad. Just hold it in position. No real way of attacking Shad. The only way I really do is to step out, but then I free him to do whatever he likes.
Bang!
Yeah.
And
So,
I can withdraw so easily.
a
from
high
this
hook
position.
is fine, but I'd have to do what I've been doing, which is take control
But
of the
if
weapon.
you miss and then I get that hit,
Oh yeah, if I miss, and that's a real spike at the back, and I miss, woo! Got it!
I got him. I still got him. See, that redirect.
The redirect is fine, though I will have to say, having this much movement is not going to really chop at anything. Sure, you've got cuts and slices, but with a halberd, you really need to swing.
But a lot of halberds do have kind of a spiky end here, like a horn that even when you get in, you can still jab that in.
Yeah.
But I do agree, halberds want some momentum, and so let's do a round or two with me going wide.
Right in the throat!
Redirect, that's what I mean, baby.
Oh God, I missed!
Yeah, you missed it, baby. What are we gonna do now?
Go double stick!
So using the power and just kind of area dominance to the full advantage, I felt like I had a bit more control. Did that put you a bit more defensively?
If I hadn't have had such a long stick, I definitely would have been more defensive. So if I had had a sword or a sword and shield, I would have needed to pick my timing. But because I have stick, I can just go in on the general angle. So if you're coming down...
But what I was finding that you were able to do less counterattacks as quickly, and you had to pick your moments more, and I had a bit more kind of I guess suppression as the aggressor there. Is that a feint there, Nate?
That was indeed a feint, and I feel like you lost a leg for me losing some ribs.
I got him.
You did.
Hey, I wasn't ready.
All right, okay, ready yet?
Yeah.
I lost a hand, but he's dead.
No, that was a glancing blow.
I closed my eyes!
Do you know what I mean about intimidation?
It is. It is, because even though I know that's foam, as soon as I have something this big and kind of blade shaped doing this around my head, it is a little bit intimidating, I have to admit.
It's dominating.
All right, I got a real, oh, you got a real one too. What is that?
This is actually a halberd head from Honshu.
Ah,
yeah.
Can you point the edge away from me? Thank you very much.
Because it's sharp. This one's actually and it's dangerous, pointy. I'm looking forward to putting this to the test, actually smashing some stuff up, because, you know, people might say, yeah, we've been saying halberd for spear, sparring, everything like that, but what I also would like to see is just damage.
Halberd damage.
This wrecks the spear with damage.
Yes, this is a lot more, so don't get me wrong, it is devastating, but compared to this is subtle.
We'll save that for another video.
Okay.
Remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on that one. There's actually an affiliate link for Honshu and stuff in the link. If check it out. This is serious business. Now it's on the more affordable end, because I'm not necessarily fair to that.
Yeah. It's not historically accurate, but from one angle, especially for a wall hanger or the occasional chopper,
it's functionally accurate. And that's what we want to put to the test, the functionality of this bad boy, in a future video, of course. But if you want to watch something right now, as we say goodbye, you can check out our discussion on axes.
That's true. That was good. And I brought my special axe down.
You did. It has a special axe in it, guys. So thank you for watching. Check out this video. It's right there. But also, what do you think wins? King of melee weapons, not battlefield melee weapons. I still think it's halberd. I thought the halberd had more versatility. Let us know in the comments and check out the video.
Sorry about the face.
I got you on the throat.